sunrise. Looks like morning in your eyes. Oh, the clock's held 9:15 for hours. This is a song by Norah Jones called Sunrise. It's an old favorite of mine. I think it's from the 90s. And the reason I want to teach Sunrise today is because I have a huge demand among students for songs that are relatively straightforward to play, that don't have too many complicated chords. It's a song that gives you a great result, but it's not complicated and it doesn't take an eternity to learn or gain some mastery with. So let's talk about Sunrise by Norah Jones. Today I'm going to talk to you about the strumming pattern that's used for this song. I'm going to talk to you about muted strumming and the percussive nature of it and how you practice it. And I'm also going to teach you section by section all the chords in the song and how to play it. So let's get into it. First thing we want to talk about is the rhythm. So the rhythm is just thumb, down, up, thumb, up, down, up, thumb, down, up, thumb, up, down, up. Here's a little close-up about the strumming pattern and the muted strumming. So first, the strumming pattern is simply thumb, down, up, thumb, up, down, up. That's what we're doing through the whole thing. It's a standard folk kind of strum. I'm in here close with both hands so that you can see what both hands are doing, okay? Thumb, down, up, thumb, up, down, up, and then on the D, thumb, down, up, thumb, up, down, up. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm combining that with a synchronized muting. Now you don't have to get all of the muting details perfect straight out of the gate, but here's what you're working on with the muting is, so I'm playing the bass notes and I'm not really muting them right away, but I'm releasing the fingers of the fretting hand a little bit early to get this, so that there's a dead end. It's not a long sustaining bass note. Okay, and what I'm doing again is I'm doing a muted strum, just an ordinary simple muted strum here. So here's what the B minor 7 muted strum looks like with the right hand. Okay, and I'm using the side of the hand or any part of the hand and just flopping it down so that I'm getting a muted sustain on the chord. So I get this effect. Here's the basic idea. Okay, that's the pattern and the strumming. So the bass note is slightly muted. It doesn't just ring it and then it stops. And then the muted strum is kind of muted with both hands. We get the sound, but we're allowing no sustain on the chords. So it goes like that. Just a note I should point out, Norah Jones does this with a capo on 1 using the chords that I'm describing to you. Obviously, you can always adjust the capo to suit your own voice, but if you want to play along with the recording on YouTube, put your capo on 1, just like I have. Let's talk about the chords in the intro section. We're going to revisit these chords in a very similar way in the refrain, but the intro section is just. So the chords, the intro section, which has the same chords as the refrain, which we'll come to later, it's B minor 7, A, and just D. Now that first note on B minor 7, we're playing the B note on the A string. The first note on the A, we're playing the open A string. And the D, we're playing the open D string. Okay, those are the chords for the intro. And so the basic intro is this. And we do that 3 times. And then what we do is we add an E minor 7. So, there's a piano riff on the recording. And I'm not trying to exactly replicate the piano riff, just more or less the flavor of it, the notes of it, the rhythm of it. So I'm playing low E, and then I'm going D, G, B. So I'm going. And if you want to get fancier, you can go E, D, G, B. And then I go E. So I'm going, on the second riff, I'm going E, D, G. And then I'm going high E, B, G. So if I play both those riffs back to back, it does approximate the sound of the piano riff here over the E minor 7, which is. Which is a really nice complementary riff, takes you back to the A. Okay, let's talk about the verse presentation. The main thing that you want to notice with the verse is that we're playing the chords. We're playing we're playing a measure. We're playing each chord for a measure, and I tend to play it with an alternating bass, and that's simply to approximate the feel of the stand-up bass that's on the recording of the song. What we're doing in the verse, the chords, the basics of the chords in the verse are A, B minor 7, G, and D. And then the last line is B minor 7, and then D. We repeat that structure twice, but because we're playing each chord for a measure, I'm doing an alternating bass on this. So you don't have to do the alternating bass, but if you do, it makes the song more musically interesting. We're trying to approximate the sound of the upright bass in the original recording. So how I do the alternating bass is on the A, I play A, and then the low E string for the bass on the second half of the A pattern. So here's how A goes. A string, E string. Then I go B minor 7. I'm just playing an ordinary B minor 7, but I'm holding down the F sharp, the second fret of the E string, and then I'm going to play that as my second bass note in the B minor 7. So I'm going. Then G, I'm just using the low E, the G note on the low E. And then I'm playing the B on the A string for the second bass. And then with the D, I'm going D string, and then A string. B minor 7, I'm doing the same thing I did before. A string first on the B note, then the low E string. And then G, and then D, 2 measures. Okay, so that's the alternating bass pattern that we use in the verse. Here's what that sounds like. Sunrise, sunrise, looks like morning in your eyes, but the clock's held 9:15 for hours. And then we do a second measure of D. And then we do that same pattern again. Sunrise, sunrise, couldn't tempt us if it tried. Now the afternoon's already coming on. Okay, and that's the verse. Almost finally, there's the refrain that comes at the end of each verse, and then also again at the end of the bridge. Let's go to the refrain. At the end of the verse, we have this refrain that goes, and there's no new chords here, it's just how we put the refrain together. We're playing half a pattern on each chord, as we did in the intro. So we're going, ooh, we we go to E minor 7, which is the only place we use the E minor 7. We're playing E minor 7 with our pinky holding the 3rd fret of the B string, or you can use your ring finger, whatever you like. And what I do with the E minor 7, I'll put the tab on the screen here, is I'm picking it. I'm going E string, D string, and then I'm going G, B. So the first pass is, and then I'm going, the second pass is E string, D string, G, and then high E, B, G. So it goes. So here's how the whole E riff goes. Okay, and that is to approximate the sound of the little piano riff on the E minor 7, and then that takes us straight back into the verse. And so we do it like this. Ooh. Then we go to the E minor 7 to you. Surprised, right into the verse. Okay, so that's what happens. That's the refrain, and that refrain happens at the end of verse 1. Verse 2, the guitar is exactly the same as verse 1, same chords, the A, B minor 7, G, and D. And then at the end of verse 2, we go into the same refrain, which we just looked at. Verse 3 on the recording is just a piano solo. If you're playing with another musician, you know, at an open mic or at your jam, this is a great place for somebody to take a little solo if they know the song a little bit or if they can solo over it. After verse 3, instead of going to the refrain, now we go to the bridge. And the bridge is just E and G. And then, okay, the bridge. The bridge is just E and G. So this is the only place we use. It's just an ordinary E major to a regular G. Regular E. So it just goes regular E, regular G. Does that 4 times, okay? And then we go to a refrain, and at the very end of it goes to a refrain, and then the E minor 7, and then we do the refrain again, and the E minor 7, and at the end, I just go to a D. So it goes. Here's the bridge. Now, good night, throw its cover down on me again. Ooh, and if I'm right, it's the only way to bring me back. Ooh. 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 To you. And then we do the refrain again. Ooh. To you. And then you end on a D after the E minor 7. I like it just plain with the D. And that gives you a nice closing resolution, and the coffee house folks stand up and clap, and you're all good. So Today we looked at Sunrise by Norah Jones. We talked about this muted pluck and strum that she uses on it. We're approximating the sound of her band on the record. So we're trying to capture the flavor of both the piano and the muted guitar and the stand-up bass and the little bit of percussion that she has happening on the track. We're trying to do that all on this instrument, and I've shown you how. We looked at the chords in the different sections. Reminder that the capo, of course, is on 1. It's a great little song. If you go through these notes, if you go through this video, you should be able to whip this together in pretty short order. The main thing is to practice a lot with your muted strum. That's Sunrise by Norah Jones. I hope you have a lot of fun with that. If you're looking for some more songs, some more smoke and mirror songs, some more songs with a great result, with not quite so much effort, look over here and look over here. And there'll be some links there for some more songs for you to work on. My name's Bonar, and I hope you'll come back and visit me again soon.